It all started with an emergency broadcast on TV. A new virus had been discovered at an airport. At first, it just made people violent, but within hours, the airport was burning. 2 months later, it had spread across the world. The virus turned people into savage zombie-like creatures. Everyone called them ferals. They weren't seen as human anymore, just beasts. The government tried to quarantine the infected, but people fought back, demanding rights for the ferals. The army took to the streets, but that only made things worse. The world was falling apart. One afternoon, all TV channels went dark. That's when Abigail and her brother got a call from their dad, a pilot. He promised he'd help others, and that they'd be safe with their mom. But then, a noise upstairs. Panicked, they ran for the car, only for a feral to pounce out of nowhere, attacking their mother. Abigail hid under the car, forced to watch in horror. Her brother tried to help, but he was attacked too. When the sirens wailed, the feral fled, but it was too late. Abigail's mother turned into a feral and killed her own son right in front of her. As Abigail sobbed under the car, her mother heard her and came charging. But just before she could strike, Cassius appeared. He shot her down and rescued Abigail. When Abigail's brother started turning too, Cassius made Abigail close her eyes before ending the boy's suffering. 10 years passed. The world was gone, swallowed by nature. Only a few survivors remained. Abigail was now a skilled hunter, thanks to Cassius. They lived off the land, trained, survived. But survival wasn't easy. One night, a tripwire alarm woke Cassius. A feral had found them. Cassius shot it down, but it meant one thing. The horde was coming. On the road, they met a man fighting ferals. Abigail tried to help, but accidentally shot him too. The mistake drew the attention of nearby survivors, and a deadly standoff followed. Then, the feral horde arrived. All hell broke loose. Gunfire, Molotovs, chaos, ferals tearing into everyone. Cassius and Abigail fought fiercely. Most of the others were slaughtered. Cassius, Abigail, and a couple named Megan and David barely escaped, but they were running out of ammo. And Megan was very pregnant. Megan spoke of a colony by the riverside, a safe haven. Cassius didn't trust it. He'd seen too many colonies fall, but with the car dead, they had no choice but to walk. They made it to an abandoned town to rest. But the feral horde was on their trail. One night, Megan admitted she hadn't felt her baby move. Cassius promised he'd protect the child if anything happened to her. It was a heavy moment. Eventually, they reached an old civil airport. Abigail found her father's hangar, and miraculously, a plane inside. David managed to fix it enough to get it moving. As the horde closed in, they boarded the plane under heavy fire. Abigail struggled to get it airborne, but just in time they took off. They escaped the horde, only to crash land not far away. In the wreckage, they found a train station to rest. Cassius discovered they were only 2 days away from the colony. But David's secret was exposed. He had been bitten. Cassius gave him a choice: confess or be put down. They found a house with lights. A man named Norton welcomed them in. At first he seemed kind, but soon everything felt wrong. The drinks were spiked. Norton was experimenting on the infected, and he had his own wife, now a feral, locked in a cage. David, half-turned, managed to break free. They escaped Norton's twisted trap, but Megan's water broke on the way out. As they neared the colony, the horde caught up. David sacrificed himself to buy them time. He fought bravely, but the big feral crushed him. The others barely made it to the colony gates, where the guards mowed down the chasing horde. Megan delivered a baby girl and named her Hope. But sadly, Megan didn't survive. Cassius and Abigail found a fragile peace at the colony. Abigail even started making friends. But danger wasn't over. Norton wasn't done. He had survived and used his device to control an entire feral army. One night, the ferals stormed the colony. All-out chaos erupted. Abigail rallied the teens. Cassius fought to protect the survivors. The leader of the colony was killed. Hope was kept safe. In the final battle, Cassius confronted Norton and shattered his device. The ferals ripped Norton apart. But in the chaos, Abigail realized the monstrous big feral was her own father. Heartbroken, she barely escaped as the survivors detonated explosives, destroying the colony and the ferals. At the dam, Cassius fought a final feral, and Abigail, calm, patient, took the perfect shot. As they watched the burning remains of the colony, Abigail told the survivors, "We'll rebuild here." And with Norton's stolen notes, they had the knowledge to create a new beginning. Hope was still alive. Thanks for tuning in to this deep dive. If you loved this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe for more cinematic journeys, and let me know in the comments, would you survive the silent zone? And what would you risk for the ones you love? Stay safe out there, and stay silent.